Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
If the folks out there see us, we understand they're frustrated. Just please be patient. Let us do our job.
Heavy snowfall overnight affected many morning commutes in the valley, with several people getting stuck in their driveways and on main artery roads, making many people wonder if city workers were prepared for the snowstorm. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley talked with city officials who say they started preparing this weekend and have been working around the clock.
It's a storm city workers have been tracking and preparing for since last Friday, salting roads and pushing back drifts to make it easier on drivers. So even though you might have had a tough time on your commute this morning, it doesn't mean the city dropped the ball.
It takes about 10 to 12 hours under ideal circumstances with 100% manning and 100% equipment to do the entire city. Snow removal is not instantaneous. The worst time a snow event can stop is early in the morning, because, people need to get out of their driveways.
Fargo, West Fargo, and Moorhead all operate the same, hitting emergency routes and main roads first before they head to residential streets.
For an event that ends at 4 o'clock in the morning, don't expect your residential routes to be done by the time you leave for work, because it's 500 lane miles and 12 hours of work ahead of us. So understand the frustration, but we are moving it as quickly and as safely as possible.
Many plow drivers will be working around the clock this week as they clean up Sunday night's storm and prepare for another round of snowfall on Wednesday.
Patience is the word. We're not just sitting out there waiting, doing nothing. My guys are tired, they're working hard, and they're doing the best job that they know how to do.
I'm out here right now on 25th Avenue South and Viking Circle, and as you can see, 25th Avenue, clean and clear. However, Viking Circle, not so much. This is the type of snowy road coverage that's caused several people in the valley to get stuck. We actually just helped a neighbor get out of this snowy mess just moments ago. Now, as you heard earlier, officials say that these kinds of residential streets are the last on their priority list. They say the first things that they get out and clear are those emergency routes and those main artery roads. They tell me that because of the winds today and all of those large drifts getting onto those main roads, some plows hit those main artery roads a few times so that's why some of these roads haven't quite yet got to cleaning yet. Now, they say that the next 24 hours are just simply going to be damage control, cleaning up what they have left from last night's storm and then preparing as much as they can for Wednesday night's snowfall. They say that they won't get to any of these tall drifts or any big large piles on the boulevards until after Wednesday's storm is all said and done. Reporting live in South Fargo, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
All right, thank you, Bailey, for that live report. The wind and cold that were problems this morning still are. We're not quite able to escape the deep freeze just yet. Hutch, sounds like dangerous wind chills again tonight.
Indeed, that's the case. The wind is not quite as gusty as it was, but travel conditions still quite tricky across portions of northwest Minnesota. As a matter of fact, I-94 has been closed by the St. Cloud area for a vehicle on fire. One of the beauties in a situation like this are the sun dogs. There's one on the left of the sun, one on the right, caused by ice crystals suspended in the atmosphere by our wind. Here is a look at Interstate 29. This is up north near the Drayton area, and the wind causing some blowing pillow drifts on the roadside and reduced visibility at times. Blowing snow will be a problem through the evening hours. The winter weather advisory you see here expires at 6 o'clock. And a wind chill advisory will replace it for our entire viewing area. Actual air temperatures are brutal. We're between 5 and 10 below for many, with wind chills already approaching 35 below zero in Grand Forks. So bundle up this evening. The northwest wind does decrease, but it's going to be dangerous wind chilly. Now, Bailey just alluded to this when she was speaking to us moments ago about road conditions, but yet more snow as another storm takes aim on portions of the valley. I'll have an hour-by-hour forecast deal for the rest of the week here in just a few moments.
All right, thanks, Hutch. For the second time, the courts have canceled the sentencing for a 43-year-old Minnesota man because of the weather. 43-year-old Chad Laguerre was scheduled to be sentenced today for assaulting Father Robert Wapensky. Laguerre originally pleaded not guilty to 3 felony charges before changing to a plea on an attempted murder charge in November. 2 lesser charges were dropped. Laguerre remains in custody in Rugby, North Dakota. The man charged with kidnapping Jamie Kloss and killing her parents is scheduled to be back in court on Wednesday. Jake Patterson's preliminary hearing will take place at the Barron County Courthouse. This hearing is a chance to show the court there is enough probable cause to prove a crime happened. But in this case, the local attorney says he expects Patterson's attorneys to waive the hearing. He says overwhelming evidence is already public. Patterson faces homicide, kidnapping, and burglary charges in Barron County. Kloss was kidnapped in October and held captive for 88 days before escaping. A bill that will allow schools to create virtual education plans has failed in the House today. House Bill 1170 would have let school districts teach on snow days through electronic devices. In committee, the bill had support from the North Dakota Department of Public Instruction and ND United. Lynn Reisenauer lost her daughter Grace Lynn 4 years ago when she drowned at a pool in Velva, North Dakota, while with a daycare. Lynn has since been on a mission to make sure no parent has to go through what she did. And in connection with that, 3 bills are now being looked at in the North Dakota legislature. The first one would mandate child care facilities have proof of liability insurance. The second sets new rules for fencing around pools, ponds, and other sources of water. The final bill would change the ratios of staff to kids while doing aquatic activities. Reisenauer says she's grateful for the support.
It was nice to see that I had people in my corner, and not only for me, but for all the kids in North Dakota. And it made me feel good because for the longest time I felt like I was alone fighting this battle.
Reisenauer testified that the facility where her daughter was on that day had insurance, but it lapsed a few days before the accident and she was unaware. Child care assistance for parents of infants isn't too far away for those in the Mankato area. A Minnesota woman with Feeding Every Baby is using donations and her couponing skills to get a hold of everything from diapers to pacifiers to formula for parents in the area who need the supplies. She says she's also trying to meet certain needs and requests.
If someone can only use Similac Sensitive, we get you Similac Sensitive. If you have a higher need, such as a medical grade or a toddler formula that's not common, if I don't have it, I will definitely try to get it.
If you would like to donate or have questions, you can contact Stacy through her Facebook page, Feeding Every Baby. A major gift today for the Great Plains Food Bank. Hornbachers is writing a check for nearly $53,000 to help people in need in our community. The money was raised in December at the Hornbachers stores during its Feed Hope campaign. That's when you're asked if you'd like to contribute at the checkout.
Our community in the Fargo-Moorhead area gives back more than any place in the country that I can think of. No matter what need there is in this community, our community is just willing to step up and help somebody in need.
The money will pay for nearly 159,000 meals for people less fortunate than you and me across North Dakota and western Minnesota. 4 buildings named after controversial figures at the University of Minnesota have officials scrambling to figure out a plan to rename them. Officials say the university has already taken 16 months to deliberate over renaming the facilities, and committee members recently asked for more time to recommend changes. The delays put the school's efforts to acknowledge its history of discrimination among the longest in the country. The student union is named after the school's former president, Lotus Kaufman, who was behind efforts to segregate student housing. For 120 straight hours, some members of NDSU's Greek Life will be standing out in the cold on the corner of University Drive and 12th Avenue North for a good cause. The fraternity Alpha Tau Omega and sorority Kappa Delta put on the Freeze-a-thon to raise money for nonprofit or charity in the community. This year, the Freeze-a-thon donations will be benefiting the Ann Carlson Center. And even though the cold can be hard to bear, knowing this money is going to help those in need is what keeps these students going.
It means a lot to be able to give back to this community and NDSU in Fargo, so it means a lot.
Oh, it just warms you right up, you know? It warms your heart.
This year, students hope to raise $25,000. You can donate online. Go to our website and click on this story.